मैं और मेरा कैंसर अक्सर बातें करते हैं, तुम न होते तो ऐसा होता, तुम न होते तो वैसा होता। लेकिन कैंसर, अगर तुम न होते तो जिंदगी लंबी तो होती लेकिन बड़ी नहीं होती।
Childhood trauma, a love story that wasn't easy, and an intercaste marriage against all odds. The dark cloud only got darker. The hardest was yet to come before they could see the silver lining.
My wife Madhvi and I were working as general managers, Roorkela Steel Plant, when we decided to take voluntary retirement. We shifted to Bangalore in January 2021. I was suffering from some slight, or what I thought were slight, issues of indigestion, and I went to my gastro. He gave me a few pills and asked me to report back 2 weeks later. A day before I was to report to him, I found blood in my stool. A colonoscopy was advised, and after that, a biopsy was done.
Mr. Ramendra Kumar came to me with a diagnosis of rectal cancer. He had actually gone to a gastroenterologist with a typical symptoms. What are the typical symptoms? An altered habit of bowel. Basically, the change in bowel habit is what typically appears in a rectal cancer. It could be constipation, it could be diarrhea, it could be a mix of it, but it does not go away for a long time. Like it may be 20 days, 15 days. So it just does not go away. It starts, it doesn't go away. And that's when an investigation is done. And generally it is a colonoscopy, which diagnoses, they can biopsy the disease which is there, and we confirm that it is a cancer.
When the diagnosis slammed into me, my initial reaction was, how come me, why me, poor me, like it is for most cancer patients. I lead a very healthy lifestyle. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I exercise regularly. Then why? The doctor explained to me, it was not a matter of lifestyle, it was a matter of genes. So after I came to know, I was sent to Dr. Sandeep Nayak, and he told me what exactly the treatment would be over the next few months. What I liked was that he gave me a lot of confidence. Otherwise, when the word cancer is mentioned, you almost break down. But he gave me that positivity, that hope, that he and I and the family, we are going to battle it together.
Mr. Ramendra Kumar had rectal cancer, which is the last part of the large intestine. So for this, the treatment is slightly different from what we do for colon cancer. Colon cancer, it is straight surgery most of the times. Whereas in rectal cancer, it is radiotherapy or radiochemotherapy or combination followed by surgery. So that is a treatment pattern.
Ramendra's case was challenging even for the best of doctors.
His major first surgery was good. He recovered very well, and he came for the ileostomy closure, which is the closure of the bypass that we have created. And that surgery also went very well. And during the recovery period, when he was supposed to go home, that's when the trouble started. He was shifted to the ward, and his urine output suddenly started going up. He started throwing out something like 7,000, 8,000 ml of urine. And that really surprised us. We knew he had diabetes, which was brittle diabetes. We knew he had thyroid issues and many other issues throughout his life. High urine output was a surprise. Along with it, we realized he was going into a sepsis or a septic shock where infection is spreading through his body. So we had to shift him to the ICU for that, and that's when we slowly started realizing that he has another condition called diabetes insipidus. This condition was because of a long-term use of lithium which he was on for several years, more than a decade I believe. So that's what caused this diabetes insipidus. And when we looked at his sepsis, which was not controllable with antibiotics, we had to look at all the causes, and we took him back to the OT just to put the stoma bag so that we have things under control. So that's how he ended up with the stoma bag even after completion of his main surgery and all going successfully well. Everything went on well, but he still had to be with a stoma bag, which was just to come out of the sepsis.
My cancer journey was tough, chaotic, and terrible. I underwent septic shocks.
Septic shock is a very rare condition and it requires a lot of intensive care. Recovery depends on very good intensive care therapy. And when it is going on, a lot of support is required from the family. The family needs to stand by financially and mentally. And that's what the family of Ramendra Kumar did. And that's the secret of his success.
His family's love and support worked its magic, bringing an urge in him to fight back.
My family, who I call Ma, Madhvi, Ankita, and Aniket, were like rock hard pillars of support. They never ever gave me a hint of the hell I was passing through on a day-to-day basis.
So after he came back home from the hospital, he had to be shifted in an ambulance because he was still in a precarious condition, and we had to get a nurse to come home to dress the surgical wound as well as take care of the bag. Number of times there used to be leakages in the bag, and in the middle of the night, during the daytime, anytime it could happen, and then we had to again rush him to our house to take care of it and all. So slowly I realized that it's high time. I was really very scared for 5-6 months, but during that period I realized that life would be much easier if I could learn how to change the stoma bag. I had made videos when he was changing the bag, and slowly I used to go through it and picked it up. And he would just sit and observe while I would do it and correct me where I was going wrong. And as a result of that, I finally picked it up, and I finally managed to change the bags properly. And that enabled us to, move out more and travel outstation also.
Children offer logistic support. They get you the best doctors, the best hospital, the best treatment. But my kids gave me their time, energy, and effort. Throughout the journey, they put their lives on hold for their papa. During radiation, my daughter Ankita and I danced 80s chartbuster Jawan Janeman Haseen Dilruba. This video went viral. In fact, Dr. Sandeep Nayak and his team shared it across platforms. A person on Insta wrote to me that after seeing this video, his dad, who was confined to a wheelchair, actually attempted to walk. Now this was truly heartwarming to me.
He had actually written a poem which coincidentally was called My Hero, and it was about a child who talks about his father in that poem, and he talks about how his dad is his icon, is his hero. So and I used to recite that poem when I was a child in poetry competitions and everywhere else. So I thought that I'll take that poem inside the ICU and I'll recite the first 2 lines, and I just hoped that he would remember it and he would complete the sentences. So when I went in, I recited the first 2 lines, and even though I couldn't hear him, but I could see him mouth the words, and amazingly it was exactly as he had written it.
Dr. Sandeep Nayak and his efficient team of doctors made the impossible happen.
Dr. Sandeep Nayak and I did not share the typical doctor-patient relationship. We were more like friends. To me, he epitomizes equanimity, compassion, and concern. I would badger him with questions, but he would always reply with that same friendly smile on his face, which gave me a lot of confidence.
Dr. Sandeep Nayak and his team have always been very supportive and very forthcoming with the actual situation, with the treatment process they are following and all. So that sort of reassured us, that we are in good hands, we are in safe hands. And even though he was in the ICU for almost 35-40 days, but every time they would make it a point to give us an update on his situation, and every time there would be a positive ring to it, like we are doing the best, ma'am, we need to have patience, but he is on the right track. Even though we were extremely worried about the condition because this is also very new to us.
In today's era, with the technology and techniques available, in most of the rectal cancer cases, we can save the sphincter, which means we can avoid a permanent stoma bag. But it is possible to lead a normal, healthy life and a lifestyle even with stoma bag. And for that, Ramendra Kumar is a good example.
My purpose has always been storytelling, writing, and reaching out to people with a little bit of motivation, with a little bit of inspiration. And that is exactly what I did. After coming out of the hospital, I have created a kind of structure. I am in that space of creativity on a day-to-day basis, and that has kept me going. Throughout the toughest of times, I, my family and friends, both online and offline, managed to create an ecosystem of positivity. I believe that the entire universe will offer you succor, solace and strength.
Going through any treatment is difficult. Mr. Ramendra Kumar's winner attitude made all the difference to the outcome that he has had.
Writer and storyteller Ramendra Kumar's creative pursuit helped him cope with cancer and bounce back.